do you live to your highest potential, or as some people may say, fulfill your destiny? That's exactly what we're talking about on today's episode. This is Ariana Rollins, and you're listening to Mindful Manifesting. So glad you're here. I think that's kind of my favorite word, highest potential. When I first started in my business in 2005, that was the name of my company. I've since changed it, but I'm thinking of going back to it. And I think this is why. Ever since I was little, and it was a bugaboo for people around me because I could see that there was something really important that they wanted to do, but they weren't doing it. One of my earliest memories, or most vivid, is I was 16 years old and my mother had recently got remarried. She moved and wanted to move from Orange County, California to Arizona, to Phoenix, to live with her new husband. And I offered to help. And my sister and my younger brother, my mother and her new husband, and we're all like driving the truck, and we get there and we get everything unboxed, and whoa, I had never experienced heat like that. Boy, did I appreciate the swimming pool. So after we had done all the unpacking, I said, "Hey, Lisa, do you want to go swimming?" She said, "Yeah." So we were like just cooling off, not really actively swimming in the pool. And she looks at me and she says, "I can't live here. I hate it." And I said, "Well, why don't you talk to Mom?" And she said, I can't, I can't tell her I don't want to live with her. And if we kind of go backwards about a year and a half, I had moved in from my mom's home into my father's. They were divorced, and it was the best decision I ever made. Something was definitely guiding me at 15 years old, and I'm so grateful. So I knew it was possible. And I found myself coaching my sister. And I said, "Lisa, why don't you just say this? Hey, Mom, I'm so happy for you and your marriage. And I really love that you're happy now. This is so great. But Arizona isn't right for me. I just know it. California is where I want to be. And I'm sure Dad would let me move in with him. He did with my sister, right?" So it wasn't exactly like that, but it's because many years ago. But I built up her belief that she could do it. She was nervous, I could tell. And I said, "Practice with me, Lisa, let's do it." So we're in the pool and she's practicing. And she went confidently in to the apartment because they had not got their house yet, and spoke to my mom. She comes out and said, "Would you let me ride back with you to California? I'm moving." I said, "Absolutely." So fast forward, we drive back home and we pull into, my dad's house in Long Beach, and I help her get her bags out, and we're sitting on the sofa, and my dad walks in from work and says, "Hey, hi, Lisa." And he walks into the kitchen, he turns back around, he says, "Lisa, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Dad, can Lisa move in with us?" And he said, "Sure." So that's just something that's inherent in me. When I feel or sense something's really important and people aren't feeling confident, or they're not just taking it seriously, there's something in me that really wakes up. So let's get on to today's episode. So we're going to do 3 topics: signs you're operating from your highest vision of yourself, and signs you're operating from negative creation mode. And then topic 3, jumpstart your life exercise so you can start living to your highest potential. So here are some signs that I've observed along the way. Here's some top 6 ones. And make mental note, and maybe you want to count them, how many that you're resonating with, that, oh yeah, that's kind of on average how my life is. 1, you wake up feeling grateful. 2, you have extraordinary energy to get things done. You've got excellent luck. Synchronistic things happen to you. You bounce back from life challenges quickly. You've got resilience. You have relationships where you can be yourself. Number 6 is your work feels aligned with who you are. Now, those are the top 6. Of those, where are you at? But there's more. These are wonderful signs that clients have shared with me. An inner knowing of what's right for me. Connection to my intuition. A deep feeling of calm. A deep feeling of security. Faith, all will be well. This is one I love. Conviction, knowing what's right for me and what's not right for me. That one is a saving grace for me. So important. High concentration. Everything else fades into the background. Feeling of sense of being in the present moment. Connected with the best part of myself. Inspires peace and naturalness in other people. Clarity of thought. Feeling of hope. Feeling capable. Feeling genuinely confident. I love this one too. Rock solid self-esteem. Feeling inspired. Coincidences and apparent magical events regularly happen. Relaxed, yet mentally alert. I remember one client said, gosh, I feel more intelligent, more articulate when I'm aligned. I said, oh, that's super cool. Natural charisma, respectful of self, not triggered by others' fears or insecurities, not defensive when criticized, immune to negativity. Authentic conversation brings the best out in people. Comfort in new situations and around new people. You do your best work, trusting your feelings. Comfort in expressing and maintaining boundaries comes easy. Feelings of self-worth is constant. Feeling authentic. Any fraud feelings drop away. Feeling supremely worthy. Commanding respect without saying a word. Now that's cool. When you walk into a shop or a restaurant and you're immediately noticed and you're taken care of. That happens a lot, and I'm so grateful. Feel whole and complete. There's no feeling of lack, need, or loneliness. An absence of pressure to perform. Oh, that's a good one. Longer term view. Things are unfolding precisely right. And you stop looking to others for guidance or confirmation. Now that's a lot. I think I must have covered 20 more. So let's kind of summarize again. These are signs you're operating from the highest vision of yourself. Maybe signs you're living to your potential. Yep. So of any of those, were there moments in your life when you remembered that, ooh, yeah, that was what life was like, and I felt really good in that? Or a relationship, or maybe a career that you were in, or maybe it's where you are now. And if so, congrats, awesome. Okay, let's talk about, going to topic 2, signs you're operating from negative creation mode. Dwelling on past regrets or mistakes. Paying more attention to what's not going right in your life. There's not much hope for the future. Maybe you're living with chronic pain, easily taken off your path. Maybe you feel isolated, not supported. Perhaps you doubt your ability to accomplish your goal. Or number 8 is you put others' needs and desires way ahead of yours. So of those, which one stood out for you? And awesome if none of them did. Now, what do I mean by negative creation mode? I talked about this in a masterclass I taught last week called From Intention to Reality. And it's life starts to mirror how we are feeling inside. So more gets more challenges and more like a heaviness, I don't feel sure this is going to be successful, and we start to hold back. And in the manifesting realms, there are a lot of people who say, all our thoughts create everything that's happening to us. I don't think that's true. There are 8 billion other people having thoughts. And if their thought is really strong in the moment, and you happen to be a little weaker or under the weather, you can get influenced. So no, your thoughts are not creating all the negativity in your life. No. But sometimes when we get into we have a tough experience, and then it creates a mood, we're just a little down. Oh my gosh, I've had that this year, especially when I lost my beloved dog. Oof, it was really hard to move through it. Really hard to shake it. And what can happen is that mood can turn into kind of an attitude about life, and worse, it can become an identity. I'm someone who has this illness. It's my illness. I am a widow. And I know you've met people like that. And there's a part of you that cries inside, gosh, could you move on? Is there something else you'd like to create with your life? That's my passion. That's why I love teaching the programs I teach, because I stir that up and I awaken that in people, and they do it. It's like I'm not doing it, but I remind them of what they want, and they're capable of it. So let's do a little bit more on this negative creation mode. I've researched what it's like living when we're out of alignment with our inner being, our higher self, our true self. Actually, I've lived it. And I've forced myself to go along because I thought that was the right path. It was a terrible many years. And I grew, yes, we always learn, but I wished I had paid attention earlier to those negative creation mode, because life was not flowing well at all. So can you relate to any of those signs I just spoke about? Those are signs you're not operating from your highest vision of yourself. So I hope this is resonating with you. Maybe it's a wake-up call, and I hope it is. But I'd like you to take a moment, and maybe if you've got some paper there, or you've got your phone, write down where your self-doubt patterns lie. Is it you dwell on past regrets or mistakes and you're concerned you'll do it again? Or do you doubt that, there is a new life for you, that you'll accomplish your goal? Do you doubt that there are people there? Do you doubt that you'll be healthy and well? Do you doubt that you can stay on your path? Do you doubt that you can say no and put your needs ahead of others? Just make a note of it. And I really applaud your honesty with yourself. Now take a moment, reflect on what you just thought or read, or read down what you wrote. And if I were to tell you what you just wrote down, that those were simply blockers. These are just patterns that live in your unconscious. They've been there, they've tried to protect you and keep you whole and intact. But what happens is that the blockers create that mindset that can limit us. And a blocker, we could also think that a blocker could be a thought that then triggers a feeling, and then we contract, or we choose to eat that chocolate cake when we say we're going off sugar. Blockers do things like that. So if you are conscious and aware that you've got a bit of a negative mindset, there's a lot of hope here, because you can solve the problem of blockers. And you can transform something that may have been self-defeating into be a positive success pattern. I have witnessed it over and over again. So as we sum up negative creation mode, what triggers it? What triggers our negative creation mode? 3 things: scarcity, fear, and worry. And most of humanity is beset with that. Even if someone is extremely well off and have millions in the bank, they're worried about what life would be like without money. Pretty much guaranteed. So we intuitively know when we aren't living to our potential, when we aren't striving, we aren't driving ourselves enough. We know when we're giving something half measure. But more often than not, there's no clear path to how to live to our potential. So now, as we move into topic 3, let's start doing that. This is a jumpstart your life exercise to start living to your highest potential. First, set a big intention that you feel a bit nervous about. Feel the excitement. Ooh, what will it be like when and fill in the blanks. 2, script it. How will you feel when you're living it? Tune it up to a 10 in desirability. Make it like a movie scene. Who's there? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling in your body? 3, practice daily with that vision, that script you've just written, with the daily energizer process. You can find that in my book, I can't remember what chapter it is, the book's called Mindful Achiever, and you can get it on Amazon. It's a Kindle right now. It's called the Daily Energizer Process. You will start your day feeling inspired, uplifted, and energized, and you might just start noticing that your big intention starts to come into reality. All right, lastly, if you thrive in an environment of can-do energy, intuitive guidance and feedback, and a step-by-step method to achieve your deepest life objectives, I'd love to invite you to a conversation and book an Unstoppable Success Discovery Call with me. The link is in the show notes. There's no pressure. It's simply a conversation, and perhaps you can get engaged, and instead of like being an idle, move it into first gear, second gear, third gear, and you're zooming along the highway. Thank you so much for listening. And as we wrap up this episode, remember, as you become a confirming to yourself, self-confirmation, you set your own path to success. So much love. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.